Okay. Yeah, we should be good. Already 3 people. Hello, welcome. Kenai, Lilith, Haysley. And Rose Blue, welcome. So, I hope everybody has had a good week. I know I have. I've been, again, every stream, I'm like, oh, I've been really busy this week, but I actually have. My contract at my part-time job is up now, but that final week of work is always so crazy. Hello, Sunflower, welcome. Today I thought, I'm not wearing the matching bracelet colors to go with the deck, but today I thought I would use the Housewives deck. Normally I use One World Tarot because that is my deck and it makes sense to use it all the time, but I just wanted to mix it up a little bit today. You know what I'm going to do? I am actually going to, hang on you guys. Okay, that's better. I did have to put on colors that at least kind of match the deck. I don't know. My brain is satisfied now. Okay. I'm gonna get these shuffled. We're gonna start off with, I got this lovely candle as a thank you gift from my work on the last day of the contract, which was really, really nice. It's a peach scented candle, and it's I think it is from probably just from Winners, but they have so much good they actually have a really nice candle selection, so I was absolutely thrilled when I saw that. Oop. Okay, we'll give a little bit more room. There we go. I'm also going to light our eucalyptus and start off our stream with a cleansing practice. Okay, there we go. We're just going to, yeah, it is still smoking a little bit. We're going to set the intention of removing all of last week's energy. Oh, now it's not burning. Hang on. That's better. Okay. Remove all of last week's energy that we no longer need to hang on to. Remove the negativity that, you know, does not belong to us. Remove energies of fear, anxiety, insecurity, judgment, anger that is just no longer necessary for us to carry. And we attract love and light into the stream and into our readings. And I'm so happy that everybody could be here today. There we go. There, all right. Hello to Sky Dancer and Lovely Day 9D. And wow, okay, we got a lot of people already. I think I want to start off with a message for the week ahead. I know last week that's how we started the stream. So I think for this, we'll do, yeah, one for this week. We're going to get these Moonology Oracle cards out. I really love this deck. These cards are so nice. They're so easy to understand, I think. So, Spirit, what is the message for the week ahead? I can't believe we're already moving into July. Like, where the shit has, where has the time gone? It was literally like just the beginning of June. I don't know, I guess that's just how time works, but it seemed like it went especially fast this month. Yeah, this year is going by fast, Lilith. I noticed that. But Spirit, what's the message we need to know for the week ahead? The next 7 days from today. What do we need to know as a collective? Okay, there's what do you need to release? Waning moon. I can't remember if this is a card we got for last week's collective reading. I can't remember, but I know there was a message of letting go of something that wasn't working. But this week, yeah, what do we need to release? Just like with our cleansing practice, maybe we need to release energy that doesn't actually belong to us. We often seem to pick up other people's energy, especially, you know, when there are very intense emotions involved. And some of us are just more naturally susceptible to, yeah, just picking up I would say picking up other people's energies. So there's maybe something like this that we need to release, but what else do we need to release? I'm just going to tune in to Spirit here. There are emotional attachments from the previous month, some of which are not helping us. Attachments to situations, to outcomes of situations, could also be attachments to people or things, but emotional attachments that don't really serve us, that just make us tired, that wear us out, because this energy could be focused elsewhere. I'm also hearing the negativity, the self-doubt, the inner critic. I'm getting just the mental image here. I'm literally just sitting here with my eyes closed, so I have no idea what you guys are doing in the chat or anything, but I'm just seeing this purple. It's like it's a big sword, and it looks like it's made out of purple light, purple energy. And it's literally just cutting through all of these. I'm seeing different, you know, sizes and thicknesses of different cords, and it's cutting through all of these things. Yeah, I'm hearing detach, detach. But let's get some tarot messages. I like that with the purple healing energy, Lilith. I think you're onto something, because I was getting more like Archangel Michael, but at the same time, sometimes your healing process begins when you have chosen to let go of something, or you set the intention of letting go of something. All right. So what do we need to release? Okay, Emperor, there's definitely control. A desire for control, but Spirit, how do you want me to word this? Okay. Yeah, the desire for control, but it's when the control is rooted in fear instead of leadership. You know, taking control of a situation because you know how to do the thing and you know how to do it properly, or you know how to use your skills to have the best outcome. That's different. We're letting go of control that's based in fear. Bossiness, we're letting go. But we're also letting go of, it's interesting because, yeah, there's like perhaps our own bossiness, but there's also letting go of how we feel about, you know, other people bossing us. We might think, oh, well, this person's such a, you know, insert expletive here, or Like, what am I doing wrong that this person keeps like nitpicking everything I'm doing? We let go of that stress, that exasperation, and we understand that this person that's bossing us is dealing with a type of fear that, or a type of, well, okay, yeah, a type of fear, control that stems from fear. And that's not a reflection of our own ability to do our jobs or to, you know, do what we need to in our daily lives. It's a reflection of that person's own insecurity. What else can we let go of? Okay, there's an argumentative energy with this Knight of Swords. Being right. Yes, it does feel good to be right. I'm not going to deny that. It does feel good knowing that you were correct and your perception of the situation was correct. But there are times where it's not like urgent, where the world is not going to end if somebody believes that you were wrong. Someone said ego. Yes, Brenda said, let go of ego in the chat. And I love that you guys in the chat are also discussing like purple energy and whether, you know, for some of you it represents healing, or for some of you, like what other things it represents. Anything else to let go? Okay, there are a couple of different things I'm getting with this Two of Swords. There's willful ignorance. Well, I don't want to know. Well, there may be a situation in which you do want to know, or you should know at least what the potential outcomes could be or what your options are. But there's also letting go of this inner, it's your inner monologue, but I just keep hearing this constant, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Let go of this repeating message of I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Because Spirit's saying deep down, yes, you do know. We let go of our doubt, yeah. And that was one of the things I was getting when I was thinking about this Oracle card. We let go of our perceived powerlessness. We can make choices and take action in a way that's empowered and not in a way that is based in fear. What else do we need to know? So that's what to let go of, is having it, and Brenda pretty much sums it up nicely. It's ego. I'm surprised there was no devil card that showed up, but we're letting go of having to control everything, especially that which we are uncertain of. We let go of having to be right. We let go of our self-doubt. We let go of the I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, the timidness that prevents you from making the decision you actually want to make. And then I was going to ask Spirit, like, what else do we need to know for the week ahead? Once we've done this letting go, it sets us up for there's greater stability here, because there are fewer things for us to worry about, and it gives us more room to focus on what matters, doing what you need to do to the best of your ability. And it seems like it does work out, whatever it is that we're going to be doing this week. We let go of our doubts, we let go of our insecurities and our fears, we do the best we can, and it seems like it works. And yeah, like it just seems like it's going well. Release that inner critic, release the, yeah, and it, I'm not judging, right? Because it's definitely, I think, a human, natural human thing is to want certainty and to want control, because, you know, very deep down, that means safety. But Spirit's encouraging us to let go of that uncertainty and to trust that we are going to be safe. Okay, so that's what I have. I know some of you have started asking questions in the chat. For those of you who are new to the stream or haven't been on one of my streams in a while, I do have some rules. When it comes to third-party readings, and I got to find a way to word this in writing so that it's much more clear, especially for new people who join the chat. Third-party readings, I consider that when you're asking a question about someone else, those are kind of hard for me to do, and I have to use my best discretion. There will be times where I will have to say, no, I can't. And there will be times where I have to modify your question a little bit to make it more, I think, oriented towards you and what you could do in relation to this person and your situation. Okay? So I wanted to clear that up. But let's get in. And I don't always do all the questions in order in the chat. It's whichever ones, like say there's definitely an inappropriate third-party question and that person asked first, I might skip them and go to the next person. Or sometimes the chat moves so quickly, I just don't see all the messages. I think first we will start with Kina89. They are asking, I applied to a job at a US government and multinational company, which starts with a C at the same time. Do I get any offer, any money? My current work expires in October, and okay. So let's see. Kina89 applied to a job, US government and multinational company at the same time. Any offers, any money? Let's take a look at that for you. Get some advice from the oracle cards first. What do we have? Okay, conclusions are within reach. This is reversed, and I'm just double checking the rest of my deck is upright. I don't usually get these in reverse. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. Okay. I feel drawn to interpret this like with the upside downness of the card. Conclusions are within reach, which makes sense. You're saying your contract is up in a few months. But with the reversal, and it would make sense maybe with the reversal if you're not sure where you're headed to next. But I get the feeling that what comes next after this contract is up is very unexpected. It's something you didn't think you were going to be able to do, or something an opportunity could come up that you did not expect, and you go for it anyways and it works out. But let's get some tarot messages, get a couple more details. Woo! Okay, okay, Spirit's saying these ones that came up first, like that came up face up, we'll do first, and then the ones that came face down, we'll do next. First of all, I'm hearing there's no shortage of work. Full card. There is a new adventure for you, Two of Pentacles. It could be 2 jobs at the same time. You could be working on 2 contracts at once. If that is something, I understand that every company, every employer may have different rules. So some places will say if you sign a contract with us, you cannot work anywhere else. But some places are generally okay with it as long as it's not a competitor or a direct conflict of interest. So it seems that you have the opportunity here to perhaps do 2 different jobs at a time. 2 of Cups, there are building connections here. Business partnerships, but at the same time, it can sort of overflow into like personal friendships, which, sometimes that happens. You meet somebody through work and you really hit it off, and you have great conversations and you become friends outside of the job. That I'm seeing that's a possibility there. But I'm also seeing like a really solid connection between you and at least one of these employers. And you just feel like you're drawn back to them each time. You know, the job is done and then maybe there's a bit of time off, but then it's like you feel drawn to them again. Or they feel like drawn to you, like they reach out, they'll start reaching out to you. Hey, we're looking for someone to do X, Y, and Z, and we were so impressed with your work last time that I want to ask you again. 5 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. Spirit, what is happening here? 3 of Cups, next 3 months. It is almost July, so end of June, end of July, end of August, end of September. You will have jobs. Like, don't worry if you're worried about being unemployed and unsure of what's coming next. There is something that's coming next. And it feels like it's quite steady work. This Knight of Pentacles, in most regular decks, he's shown as, you know, the knight. He's on a horse that's not really moving. It's slowness, but at the same time, it has like a... Oh, it has meanings of like steady work and routine and slowly but surely. So something that's going to last a while. So you could have a long contract or a job that kind of, yeah, lasts long term. Lots to do. Now, 5 of Pentacles. This is not your financial suffering. If that's what you were worried about, don't worry about it. I get this feeling that in 3 months' time, 3 months from now, you will be hired to help somebody else figure out, literally, you're helping someone else figure out where their money went. And helping someone else figure out, and it's on a big scale. So it could be helping a company figure out, yeah, they have missing funds and they've employed you to kind of sniff it out. What happened to it? Where did it go? And this is a job that may take you quite a while to do. So there's long-term work in it for you. Let's see if there's anything else. And then keep in mind the opportunity to potentially work on multiple jobs. So you could have this long-term job and then a short-term one at the same time, maybe one that's only a few weeks to a month, and then another one that lasts much longer. In conclusion, what do we have in conclusion, Spirit? Ooh, okay. I'm really excited for you, Kenai 89. This is 6 of Wands and 8 of Swords. 6 of Wands, this is something that you are very good at and you've proven to be successful in this certain thing in the past with whatever type of work, but it's leaning more towards the helping a company find what happened to their misallocated funds. And then 8 of Swords, finding out whether or not, literally finding out whether or not somebody needs to go to jail. Or if a crime has taken place, if a jailable offense has taken place in regards to a company's money. So maybe you're being hired somewhere to sniff out fraud or embezzlement or just find out money's gone missing in a suspicious manner and it's hard to prove, but you have whatever, it's a tool or a skill or something that you have that you're able to track it down and find it. And sometimes it's very quick and sometimes the process takes a while. It's something you maybe didn't expect to do or you haven't done in a long time and you didn't expect to get back into doing this kind of work. So yeah, don't worry. By the end of summer, by the end of September, there will be extra work for you. Okay, so that's what I have for you. I hope that answered your question. Let's go back up through the chat. What do we got? We had Kenai 89. Then we have Hey, Slay. Hey, Slay says they've been stuck in a situation for years that's been very painful. More than 5 years now. What does the universe have to convey? Okay, so let's get some advice and some messages for you, Hey, Slay. Stuck in a difficult situation for the last few years. We're going to figure out well, Spirit, should we ask what the best course of action for Hey Slay will be? Should we get messages of comfort? Spirit says, just trust me. I'll tell you what you need to tell them. Okay. You are good enough. I'm getting that's like the biggest message, the biggest theme here is you are good enough. You are, okay, I'm hearing you're deserving of health and wellness. You're deserving of wealth. You're deserving of help. You're deserving of encouragement and support. You deserve the success that you wish upon others. You deserve the love that you freely give to others. You deserve to receive the wisdom that you so freely share with the ones in your life. You deserve the validation and to feel it and accept it and to just know it and embody it that you help others to see in themselves. You accept the validation that you give to others and you deserve the validation that you give to others and Spirit's saying you deserve to accept that validation. You are good enough. Okay, let's see what else we have though. I love starting off with a strong message like that. What else do we have? Woo! Hangman. Hangman is an interesting one because sometimes it's just wait a minute. It's like a delay in something big coming into your life, but sometimes it's just a perspective shift. So let's get a couple more details on that Hangman. Okay, 4 cups. Oh, okay, so there's a perspective shift coming in your life very, very soon. And maybe you felt like you've been stuck in a certain energy for the last few years. Maybe you've been feeling like you're just stuck in a certain mindset, because I'm getting what's changing is disappointment in the self to satisfaction and security within yourself. You look back at your past, I'm not just going to say the achievements, it's the effort too. We often, I think just as human beings in general, we often overlook the amount of work that we put into, what we do, and we only praise the outcome and like I said, the achievement. We only praise the what we see, the finished product. You're going to start recognizing all of your effort. Even if something did not work out, you're still going to start learning to praise yourself for the hard work that you've put in and for doing the very best that you could. And Spirit's saying that it's going to take some time, which it makes sense. I think that's very, very natural. Human brains, Human brains, I'm going to say, are quite stubborn with the way sometimes in which they're wired, especially when we do behave in certain ways as like a survival mechanism, right? And sometimes we are, I'm going to say programmed, I don't know if that's the right word, but to have a negative bias, to only see what was wrong or what did not work out instead of what did work out, or the progress you've made or the skills that you've learned. That's shifting for you, gradually shifting. Okay, I had 10 of Cups. You're going to start feeling at home in your mind and in your body. But yeah, very much feeling, because it's complicated, because our bodies are, there are temporary housing, right? Ram Dass considered our bodies to be like a vehicle. And it's not who we really are, but it's what gets us from A to B. It's what, you know, helps our soul to experience a human life. Hard to do that when you're not in a human body. And what comes with the human body, well, is a human brain, right? And the psychology that, you know, goes with that, and the distinct chemical reactions in this physical brain and the way your brain is wired and stuff. You're starting to feel more at home with who you are as a human, in your human body, in your human brain, in your mind, and in your emotions. Does that make sense? I know I've rambled a little bit, but I was trying to make it a little bit like easier to understand what I was saying. I also have these that had fallen out. We have 6 of Pentacles next to 6 of Swords. There could be some, oh, I keep bumping my camera thing. There could be some issues that are contributing to this stuckness, right? This problem you've been dealing with for the last few years. It may not all stem from childhood, but some of it definitely does. But you're moving on from that. I gotta just get a little bit more comfortable here. Yeah, you're moving on from, I guess that makes sense with this week's message of releasing our baggage, releasing what no longer belongs to us. Pain that was inflicted on you when you were young was not a reflection of who you were. It was a reflection of the people who did the thing or said the thing that caused you pain. You will start to understand this and realize, like, oh, that really wasn't my fault. Okay. And it helps you to, your inner child heals a little bit each time that you maybe analyze a situation and realize, oh, well, you know what? It was really crappy of XZ adult to say that or do that to me. That really wasn't my fault. I did not deserve what happened. That was their problem and they needed help. But then you realize that none of it was your fault. None of this is your responsibility any longer. Devil, 3 of Swords, 5 of Wands. I see how this, perhaps there, past pain, and I'm not going to get into anything that, you know, would be inappropriate to share publicly or anything like that, but I can understand how past experiences could lead to present day, you know, things such as depression or grief, anxiety. That we have the Devil card. This is like that inner critic. Oh, that's, you know, that wasn't good enough. You weren't good enough. Your efforts weren't enough. You should have tried harder. You should have applied yourself. You shouldn't have been so lazy. You should have done X, Y, and Z when I said you should have. It's not true, okay? It's a program that's still running in your mind because it was messaging that was just imparted onto you over and over and over again, perhaps at such a young age, but just know that it's not true. It was never accurate and it was never true. But it seems like you're starting to fight back. You're starting to, I think you're getting better at standing up for yourself. And that's a hard thing to do, because from what I'm picking up here, in your very young early years, either you were not taught how, or it was considered back talking, or being argumentative if you did try and stand up for yourself. But it seems that now as an adult, you're getting better at doing this, and it's like you're combating the pain that other people had like pushed onto you. You are good enough. You've always been good enough. And it really sucks that there were people around you who made you feel like you weren't enough. Those people, and I'm not excusing why they behaved this way. I'm just hoping this might explain it a little bit and explain, why it's not your fault. Those people had their own problems. They had their own struggles with not feeling good enough. And it goes back much farther than you. It goes back farther than them. You're allowed to stand up for yourself. You are allowed to get help for that which is bothering you. You are allowed to get to the bottom of this and process it, and to talk about it and share your feelings with a professional or with somebody that you trust. Maybe I get the feeling that was discouraged when you were young. And perhaps you were maybe even told, and I don't know if this is something you were literally told, but I'm just hearing in my head, who's going to listen to you? Nobody wants to hear that. Why would they help you when you're just feeling sorry for yourself? Okay? That was never true. It was never true. There are people who would be very willing and happy to help you, who are well equipped and trained to help you with whatever it is you're going through. It's not a burden to ask for help, and you may have been told or made to feel like asking for help was a great inconvenience or a rudeness to others. It's not. It's an act of self-love. Strength. This is Spirit saying, this is you now. You have the tools you need. You have their support available to you. You have the right. I'm hearing you have the right. I'm also getting something about you have the dignity that perhaps you didn't think you had or you thought was taken from you. Let's get one more in conclusion. Oh yeah, you're going to overcome this with this Nine of Wands. It's been a struggle for a long time, but you will overcome it. You just had to give yourself permission to put, maybe you do go to a professional already, maybe, I don't know, but you do have the skills you need. You have the strength, you have the mental fortitude, you have, and like Spirit saying, you have the right, you have the dignity, you have the ability to receive help for this very difficult situation. You will overcome it. You will come out the other side of it. It might just be a bit of a process and take a little time, but you will get there. From being disappointed in yourself to feeling secure in who you are, to feeling at home in your body and your mind, to healing, processing and healing pain from your past that was still affecting your present day but no longer needs to. You are good enough. You can do this. You will do it. Okay, so that's what I have for you. I really hope that that was helpful. I'm going to go ahead and put these back. I'm going to go back through the chat. Lovely Day 90 would like a message from their guides. Okay. Hello, Imelda. Welcome. Oh, that's a really good request, Sky Dancer. A spell for inner peace in these wild times. That's a really, really good idea. I don't have all my equipment on hand, but I could do like another cleansing practice with perhaps a prayer and maybe get a little bit of Reiki energy flowing. But we'll look at that. But first we're going to do, who did I say? Lovely Day 90. Yes. Message from their guides. Double check my battery level. I'm going to, just for a second. Okay, I just turned the flash off, so hopefully you can still see the cards nicely. If not, just let me know and I'll turn on the overhead light. So what a lovely day 90 is looking for a message from their guides. Spirit, what do you need to tell them? What is going to be best for them to hear today? Oh, you saw me shuffle. You also have the "you are good enough" message. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do is just turn on this overhead light. Just a minute, guys. That's better. And I've had that candle burning for a little while. You guys probably heard my knees go crack, crack. There, we'll put these lovely crystals in frame instead. Okay, that's better. So yes, you also have the "you are good enough" message. You might wonder if you're actually a good person, or if you're, this might sound weird, but this is just what I'm picking up. You may have doubts. Am I actually a good person, or am I just really good at faking being a good person? And Spirit's like, no, you are a good person. You are good. A good person wouldn't, or excuse me, a bad person wouldn't worry about whether or not they were being a good or bad person. A bad person would worry about how well they were faking being good. Oh, is it convincing enough? No. That's not what I'm getting from you, though. You're more like so concerned, yeah, about like your impact on other people and your, yeah, the way in which you affect other people. And Spirit's like, no, don't worry. Okay, Three of Swords. This Three of Swords, this is not anything new that's coming up. So if you're worried about something difficult, you know, happening, or you feeling grief, that's not what's coming in the near future. This is just something you've already been through. You've experienced what it was like to be mistreated by other people, and you came to the conclusion, and I'm going to say it was the right conclusion. Well, I suffered, so I don't want others to suffer. And you're using this sovereignty, I'm getting sovereignty, that you have, your ability to, yeah, to make choices, and you're very highly aware of this, you know, how you have the power to make your own choices, but you're also aware of how your choices can affect other people and can affect the world around you. But it's like, it's interesting because this Emperor this time, I'm getting, yes, you have it under control, but it's in a way that it's secure. I'm hearing it's present, and I'm hearing it's pleasant, and it's secure. It's not oppressing other people. You're very much in control of yourself. Maybe you kind of worry about, oh my gosh, am I oppressing other people? Or maybe you're a little bit worried that, oh, am I a controlling person? Maybe you give your input on how you would like things to be, but you know, you never made it seem like what you had to say was word of law, right? But maybe you just worry that that's how other people take it. Spirit's saying don't worry about it, because you're kind of, you're misleading yourself. In a way, it's like you're kind of stabbing yourself in the back, causing yourself unnecessary pain by overthinking and over worrying. Spirit wants you to know that you are a good person. Woo! Okay, Ace of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles. Okay, and they're kind of changing gears here as well with this sudden, shift into the Pentacles. If there is something you're worried about financially, I'm getting that your needs are going to be met because there will be work to do. So if you were perhaps worried about your job security or being hired or, being able to find steady income, Spirit's like, you will, your needs will be met. There's a certain need you have you're worried about. They're like, it's okay, we got it covered because we're lining this up for you. Opportunity to have some steady, all right, King of Cups really wants to come out. But yeah, some steady work to do. And there's something about quelling your anxiety, giving you something to do to focus your mind on. It will help if it can help keep you busy enough that you're not always, your mind isn't always going back down that rabbit hole of, oh my gosh, what if I'm secretly actually a really bad person and I'm just like being delusional and convincing myself I'm good? No, Spirit's like, no. They're going to find something for you to do to keep your mind occupied from going down that rabbit hole and going down that rabbit hole because it's so not true, right? You're worrying about something that's not true and is not happening. It's just causing you more and more pain. It's stabbing yourself in the back. Any more advice here? Self-improvement is a lifelong process. Sometimes, and I'm getting here with 4 of Swords, sometimes it's okay to just take a break and live your life and do the best you can. Spirit is commending you on wanting to, always be a caring person and to always want to be better and make better choices and know better and do better, but also saying like it's okay to just relax because you could be going, and I'm not trying to be rude saying overboard, but that is the word Spirit gave me, is you could be going a little bit overboard with the constantly worrying about how you are appearing to others, if other, if other people think that you're genuinely good, or maybe you're worrying about, oh, everybody thinks I'm just faking nice, or I'm just faking like I'm good and they all see through it. No, it's okay. You're okay. Work on yourself. That's a lifelong process, but at the same time, it's okay to relax and just live your life and do the best you can and make the best choices that you know how, with where you are and with what you have on hand and with what you know. You're a good person. And I love that Spirit is saying, if you're worried about this and this, don't worry with the finances. They're going to meet your needs. You're going to have something to do and it'll keep your mind busy. And then you're going to meet people, and this is not meant to be like a bad omen or anything. This is just human nature. You are going to meet people whose behavior will make you realize, oh shit, I am a good person. Okay, I'm not worried anymore. So yeah, you are good. You are good enough. Things are working out. Things are going to look good for you, it looks like, in the near future. So I hope that was helpful. I'm going to go ahead and put these back. Back through the chat. Okay. Sunflower. Sunflower says, I'm liking my old school friend who starts with U. He gave me signals and approached many times to talk, but it's been 2 months. We're in no contact. Will the person approach me or commit for a love relationship I really want? You know what? I think we could look at that. I appreciate that you have used just their initial and not a full name. Spirit knows exactly who you're talking about. I don't need to know the person's name. So again, I appreciate you not giving identifying info. Ooh, I need to shuffle those a little bit better. Let's just ask Spirit, what's next in your connection with this person who starts with you? What's next in the connection between Sunflower and their person? So Sunflower and her person, what is next? What is next in that connection? Okay, adjustments are required. I get the feeling it's something small and it has to do with your communication. Let's get some tarot messages. What kind of adjustments? And what does Sunflower need to do if there is anything that she needs to do? Okay, there's Ace of Cups. There's still, I think, remaining hopeful, and still, like, Spirit wants you to know that this is still like a happy time in your life to be back in contact with this friend. Emotional interest is there. That's something else I'm getting. That person, I think, is still interested in you emotionally. But then what's the adjustment? What needs to be adjusted? How quickly, how quickly you're expecting results is what I'm seeing with Three of Wands. This could that maybe takes a little bit of time to, if it's somebody like that you haven't, like you were saying, they're an old friend and you reconnected after a long time, it may take a little bit longer than you expected to fully get integrated back into each other's lives. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, that just seems to be what's happening right now. Yeah, adjusting expectations. Just because someone's not like immediately getting back to you or immediately, you know, wanting to offer a romantic relationship or something doesn't mean that they're not interested. Some people just take a while to warm up to others or to, again, to like get to know people again, especially if you and this person have been apart for a while. Okay, but then what's next? Because we had for adjustments are required, it's adjusting your expectations as to how quickly the relationship or the connection will flourish. Just because it takes a little bit longer doesn't mean that this person is not interested. So what's next? Okay. There's like a casual sort of energy with this Four of Wands, but it's comfortable. It's, I keep hearing, I often hear domestic bliss with this card, but you know what I'm seeing is you bring this person around your family, you know, at this point, it's like you're not like dating or anything yet, but you are still good friends, and that's how you're introducing this person perhaps to your family or to whoever is living in your household with you. But they fit in and they get along with everybody at home. And they feel very comfortable being there. You feel comfortable having them there. It's like you're getting to know, and I think this goes the other way too. I think they bring you to their family. Hey, do you remember Sunflower? You know, do you remember when we were friends when we were younger? Oh yeah, I do remember. Oh my gosh, you are so grown now. Or, you know, it's sweet. It's a very gentle integration back into each other's lives. And it starts off with friendship. Yep, temperance. Look at that. Just just go with the flow. There's a go with the flow. Let things happen. Your person has things that they are working through right now that they may not be quite ready for a romantic connection, but they still are so happy to be back in your life and to have you back in theirs. Just give it a little bit of time. Be just a little bit patient with them. And then, you know what, when I was shuffling, I did hear the word obligations. This person, he has some obligations he has to take care of first before I think he's fully available to jump into something new with you. But I do see Ace of Wands like a brand new beginning that you and this person create together. Woo! I gotta be careful. I've got the clumsies today. Oop, okay, anything else for Sunflower? Oh, okay, I love this message. There's no need to worry about where your connection's going right now. It's gonna go where it needs to. The Star, you're going to get the best possible outcome. You're going to get the best possible outcome for your relationship with this person. At the moment, your person has a lot on their plate that they're dealing with. Again, with those obligations. There could be work things, there could just be personal, emotional things. There could just, it doesn't concern you, and it's not anything that you can do to change a situation. It's something he's got to work through on his own. But then, yeah, there's the Star, there's the coming together, and it's like, eventually, perhaps your parents and his parents, they may be like, oh, why didn't we think to match them, you know, in the first place? Because if I remember correctly, you are from a culture that does arranged marriages and family is quite often involved. And I was just getting that, you know, your parents and his parents, or your family and his family would be like, oh, why didn't we think of that? And it seems like it's one of those things that takes a while, but it's worth it. It's worth the wait. It's worth the process. Okay? Just have to adjust your expectations on how quickly this may come to fruition. So I hope that was helpful to you. And then, we did want to do that's right, the spell for inner peace. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna drag out this great big rose quartz. I love this thing. I have a very wonderful, she started off as a viewer and then became a regular client for a few years. Lovely woman from the States mailed this from the US to Canada. I don't know how she managed that, but I have treasured this ever since. It is just gorgeous. Often when I'm just wanting some peace, like I'll just put my hand on it. sometimes off camera when I'm doing my pick a card readings and stuff, because this is always on my coffee table. Sometimes off camera when I'm doing my pick a card readings, I'll just have my hand on this crystal. Like, look how big that is. It's massive. It is also very freaking heavy. So I'm going to very carefully put it down. Because it just seems to, I don't know, sometimes it just seems to help me with channeling. And it's a rose quartz. It has, rose quartz is often associated with love. And what I'm going to do is take that, with it being rose quartz and its association with love, and I'm going to call this like self-love. We're going to do something to help us attract the energy of self-love to come back into our lives and inner peace. And you know what? We'll have this little quartz point. I think this came from that same client. I can't remember for sure, but I think it did. Because this was mailed to me by somebody very lovely. But we're going to use these crystals as just as a tool to like magnify the power of our intention. We're setting the intention now to surround each of us who are watching this, whether you're watching it live or you're watching it after, no big deal, it's okay. I'm going to have to trim my little eucalyptus so I can get it to burn a little better. Hang on, guys. We're setting the intention of attracting love into our lives, self-love, into having an easier time accepting love that comes from our guides, from the divine. And we're going to bring in the energy of peace. I'm feeling instructed to just pull a couple of little pieces here. So Spirit, please bless us with self-love. Help us to remember the love that we have, the love that you have. It all comes from you. Help us to remember to apply it to ourselves. Help us to remember how very much loved we are. Please help put our minds at ease. Help us to release our fears. Help us to release our anxieties, our tension, our insecurity, our doubts. Help us not to be afraid in the face of danger. Help us to remember that we have you on our side. Help us to remember that nothing on earth is as powerful as the love you have for us, because you are love. Please bring peace to everybody who's watching this. Help us to understand and remember that we are enough. We've always been enough. We always will be enough. We are love. We are loved, and we always will be. Okay. So I hope that was helpful, and so it is. My living room smells so good now. I love that eucalyptus smell. I'm going to go back through the chat and look for some more questions to answer. Okay. I love reading your guys' conversations with each other too. Oh, chemical squirrel. is asking if they finally connected with one of their spirit guides. I know that you have. Okay. I was about to shuffle. 9 of Cups fell out. This was what you were wishing for and hoping for. This 9 of Cups is wish come true. You absolutely have. But let's get some more cards. Just extra info. You have definitely established contact with your spirit guides. I'm seeing you've tuned your radio to just the right channel, the right frequency to pick them up clearly. You know how, well, I got to explain this with what I know so that maybe it'll make some sense, but I have an FM transmitter thing that connects to my car radio, and it's just a little box about yay big, and it has a little, it looks like it has a little headphone jack, and it plugs into my phone. And when I have the tuning on the FM transmitter to the same frequency as what my car radio says, then the music comes in very clearly. So the channel that I use it's FM, it's 88.1. When my car radio and the FM transmitter both say 88.1, the music comes in very clearly. Sometimes I accidentally will bump the button on the transmitter and it'll say 88.3 when my car radio is still at 88.1. The music does still come in, but it's very fuzzy and there's a lot of interference. That's where you started. You started, let's say I don't know what word to use, but let's say your guides, let's say my car radio represents like the frequency your guides are on, and then you are the little FM transmitter, the little box thing. You have corrected the course so that instead of operating on 88.3, you are now operating on 88.1, which matches the frequency of, again, if we're going to use the car radio example. Basically, you're in tune with your guides. It's not slightly off where you could still get messages, but it was muddled. Now it's directly right on. Does that make sense? Sometimes I'm able to make sense, and sometimes words just don't word. Eight of Swords, Temperance. Okay. So what helped you switch out of the mismatched frequency where you thought you were stuck and weren't able to pick up, your guides' messages? You gave yourself some grace. You were patient with yourself during this process. And it seems like that patience you had in trying to figure out what you needed to do, it's like it worked. It worked. You gave yourself time to figure it out and try strategies perhaps that resonated best with you, and it worked. Yeah, this reading, and I should have mentioned this earlier, I know some questions end up getting lots of cards pulled, and some readings are really quick. It's not personal, it's just whatever needs to be said, right? Your commitment is being tested. And it seems like that's a test that you passed. Having patience, having patience with yourself, being willing to try new strategies to connect with your guides, just the faith that your guides are there and are listening. And it seems like you've passed that test. Whoop. All right, I had 2 fall out. Yep, look at that. High Priestess, these are your guides. This is the divine wisdom. They're now like, all right, now you're ready. Now we're on the same page. Are you ready for the next message? Are you ready for the next set of instructions? Or are you ready for this next thing we're going to do? Because there's an offer they're going to extend to you. And I'm hearing to deepen your practice, to deepen your communication with them. So that's awesome. You have definitely connected with your guides, and yeah, I love it. You and your guides are on the same wavelength. You're on that same radio frequency. You're on the same page, however you want to describe that. And they're going to offer you an opportunity to, get better at, I think, recognizing them and recognizing their communications, and to, just deepen your connection and build those psychic skills should you choose to. So that's what I have for you, Chemical Squirrel. That's really cool. And I love that you've given me some insight on what you've learned about your guide, Isadora. She's very scholarly and proper, you're saying. She doesn't like the word educated. She prefers scholarly. I don't know how I know, but you just know. I love that. There's a type of wisdom that goes beyond just education and just what you've learned. Maybe that's why your guide prefers scholarly. I'm just getting something about they've lived it. Interesting. Whoop. Okay, let's look at Brenda says, I just want my guides to know I'm doing the best I can. If they feel the need to help, I'm happy for them to assist because I know they are busy. You know what? Busy, I feel like, in the spirit realm, like, sure, they're always busy. They always have things to do and ways in which they're going to help us. But busy to them is very different than busy to us, where we can focus on maybe, let's say, one task at a time. Whereas they're not limited in the same way that we are in spirit. They're able to do multiple things or be multiple places or share information with you in multiple ways. Their type of busy is different than ours. You're never going to get an out of office message from your spirit guides. And I believe that they know you're doing the best you can. That's all we're asked to do, really, is to take what we've learned and what we know and to make the best choices that we know how. Okay, Tony has an interesting question. Tony's asking if she's going to get a new car soon. Let's see what we get from the oracle cards for this one. I'm just very curious. Now, when you say new, brand new or like new to you? I don't think that it necessarily makes like a huge difference, but for some reason I feel the need to clarify. But either way. Oh, new. Okay, new to you, yeah. New to you and better than what you had. Ooh. Will Tony be able to get a new vehicle soon? Oh, same here, Brenda. I would love to have a newer car with AC. Wouldn't that be something nice? But let's ask about Tony's vehicle. Spirit, why are you showing me this? I'm seeing it's not Ellen. It was Oprah, you know, where you get a car, and look under your seats, and the lucky person who finds a key, you get a car. And I'm seeing like a shiny vehicle with a big bow on it. And there's just something so lighthearted about that energy. I don't think Oprah is literally going to give you a car, but I did get a kick out of seeing that in my mind's eye. Okay, it's time to take action. I'm seeing looking through the listings. So, oh geez, this ages me, and probably I'm seeing the Auto Trader. You know, that old, the magazine or the whatever it was. It was a publication, the Auto Trader. When I was a kid, my dad he had a subscription, I think, to it, and I used to look through it and look at all the cars and trucks and stuff. But I'm definitely seeing looking through the listings. There's the Auto Trader. I think all of that is just online now, probably. Yeah, and I'm seeing newspaper. I'm seeing it's a mental image of just a cursor, you know, the little mouse arrow on your screen. Okay, Hermit, King of Wands. Perhaps through, actually what I'm getting is perhaps through a private seller, not necessarily a dealership. Because I know you can get used but still good quality vehicles at a dealership, but this Hermit is just showing me this is a private individual. Multi-purpose. A vehicle that is able to do more than what your last one could. Perhaps there is extra space in the back, or it's one where the seats can fold down, or it's a little bit bigger. But yeah, you're able to do a little bit more with it than you could with your last one. Notice how our King of Wands, he's got a wrench. I think this private seller could be somebody who is either a mechanic or has like a decent knowledge of vehicle repair, who has done, I'm not going to say modifications. No, it's like adjustments, who's been maintaining careful maintenance and carefully making small adjustments to this vehicle. And I feel that it's someone who knows what he's doing, and I feel it is a male. Who you could be getting your next vehicle from. I'm going to clarify this Five of Pentacles, because I was getting something about $5,000, which is quite pricey, but I'm also hearing like new. But there's room for negotiation with Seven of Cups. This person, I don't think, they may list it as 5,000, but I do feel as though they are willing to, to negotiate a little bit, because they didn't know how much to actually list it for. So they went with something high, but are willing to maybe take something like a lower price. And I don't think it's all at once. I think there are like payments. I'm getting installments. If you end up looking at multiple offers, well, these are all very crooked. Anyway, if you end up looking at multiple offers, your intuition is going to tell you when to be careful. There is somebody who there's a vehicle, they want to get it off their hands ASAP. I don't believe that it's this King of Wands. This, I think, is someone else. And you might feel like you're being rushed to make a decision. Don't go with that person that's rushing you to make a choice. I feel that this King of Cups is actually describing the temperament of this. It's interesting that because King of Wands was describing both the vehicle with its multifaceted, I think, different features. It's probably newer than what you had. It probably has like newer, like it could have, you know, some of those vehicles have like a screen on the dashboard and different functions, like it has maps and stuff like that. There could be something like that, but I was also getting like a very handy person who knew what they were doing. But this person, their energy is quite, they're patient, they're waiting for the right buyer, and they're very, what is the word? I'm getting moderated. They're very understanding. The right seller is not going to rush you. But if you do encounter someone that is, like I said earlier, is kind of pushing you to make a choice, I would say no to them. But somebody who will let you think it over and talk to your spouse or you know, anybody else that's in your household who could be affected by this financial decision, they'll let you take time to talk it over and work things out. And then Three of Wands, they will be receptive and like they'll be ready with it seems like with an offer for you or with the papers. I'm actually getting more like documents with the papers. I'm guessing that would be probably the bill of sale. Page of Wands. I don't think this vehicle they're selling is that old. I don't think it's that old, actually. I'm getting that with Page of Wands. It may have belonged to a young person who upgraded and got something different, or the fact that the vehicle itself is just not, it could be a newer model than what you used to have. So will this be soon? How soon? Because it's definitely time to start looking at listings for used vehicles. But how soon? How soon? If we can estimate timing. Okay, full card, sooner than we think it's going to be, for sure. An offer. Someone's going to make you an offer. Okay, Knight of Wands. I think knights are 12s. This could be really soon. It could be like in less than 2 weeks. Because, okay, pages are 11s. I did want to read this as 11 days. But then I also had that intuition that the car is not very old. But then I did pull Knight of Wands, which is like 12 days. So could be sooner than you expect. You may end up getting a really, really good offer. And like I said, perhaps being able to, like, very flexible. This person who, the right seller with the right vehicle for you, they're going to be very flexible with how you pay them and what methods you use. Perhaps they are fine with, you know, an e-transfer every month, or maybe you're more comfortable, you know, giving them cash every month. Like that, whatever works for you, it'll work for them as well. Okay, so that's what I have for you. Very, very soon. I'm going to say next couple of weeks. Like if you start looking, and I'm not going to be the one that's rushing you here, but I'm just going to say, for example, if you started looking like today or tomorrow, yeah, within the next like almost 2 weeks, you could be in contact with a potential seller. So that's what I have there. And again, estimating timing with tarot, it's not exact. It's just based on what the energies surrounding your situation are like right now at the time of reading. Whoop. So I hope that was helpful to you. Brenda, I wish we could all get new cars from the great Oprah in the sky. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that? Yeah. And while she's at it, maybe Oprah could pay my student loans that, you know, if I end up going back and taking out loans, or maybe Oprah can. My car is as old as I am. Um, it was marketed as a 96, but it was manufactured in 95, so it's as old as I am. And it's an automatic, but it has a tape deck, and it's very very old. And you know, maybe Oprah could make my car payments for someday I might need a new vehicle. Wouldn't that be something? That would just be so nice. She could afford it to like give everybody on earth, like help them meet at least one of their major needs. Let's do San Antonio Rose and Monique. Yeah. San Antonio Rose and Monique are both looking for messages from their guides. So you know what? We'll start with San Antonio Rose. No, I know I'm not that old, Brenda, but it just is funny to me driving a car that's the same age as I am. My very first car was also, it was also manufactured in 95, so I thought that was funny. Okay, but San Antonio Rose is looking for a message from their guide. So yeah, we'll do San Antonio Rose and Monique, and then I think we'll call it from there. So San Antonio Rose, what do your guides want you to know? Let's find out. Spirit, what is best for San Antonio Rose to know today? Okay, there's be bold and make the first move. Perhaps you're waiting for something to happen and Spirit's like, yes, but it would go a little bit, it would come to you sooner if you took some inspired action. So let's look at what this inspired action and this first move could be. Okay, and I was going to ignore it, and then Spirit's like, no, you have to say it, because I'd cut the deck and we'd seen 5 of Pentacles and 10 of Swords. There's removing the fear of failure. So if that is something that's keeping you from taking a certain action towards a goal, Spirit's saying, don't worry, just remove the fear of failure. And replace it with what, Spirit? Well, I'm hearing replace it with the joy of trying. Replace it with I'm hearing like the fun of the game. Interesting. What can we get from the tarot? Work through that fear of failure. Ace of Pentacles. Something will, excuse me, something will be, I'm getting, I'm hearing a few words. I'm hearing awarded, I'm hearing allotted, and I'm hearing like allowed, as in made available to you. Something will be made available to you. Something will be allowed. You will be allowed to access something. Something will be, yeah, and I keep getting allotted. So yeah, there's like you're going to have permission to do or have this thing that you are looking forward to, but you're hesitant to make that first move with, because perhaps you're afraid of messing it up. Or with that fear of failure. Yeah, accidentally making a mistake that would ruin your chances. Spirit's like, don't worry about that. I'm hearing, well, there's nurturing this dream of yours and letting it grow. Nurturing your desires and letting them grow. but there's like nurturing yourself along the way with each step that you take. Make sure that you keep your own self-care in mind. I'm hearing, what good is it to grind when there is nothing left, when there's nothing to grind with? And I could still be, my brain is still maybe thinking about cars, but something that's come to mind is somebody who just drives and doesn't take the time to change their oil or to top it up. And, you know, eventually when you don't have adequate engine oil, the parts of your car, like stuff can start grinding. Parts will start grinding on other parts and makes a hell of a noise. And then, you know, your car ends up kind of smoking, or it ends up just burning out, and your engine just ends up, you know, just going completely kaput. And it's like, well, what good is it to grind until there's nothing left? Take your inspired action, do what you need to do, and then make sure you take a minute to step back and replenish yourself. Emotionally, physically, mentally, making sure you're getting enough rest, making sure that you are taking care of your mental health, making sure that you are taking time to feel and process your emotions, and taking time to appreciate the efforts that you've been putting in, and to appreciate yourself, nurture yourself. Oh. These have fallen out. Ace of Wands, it's a new creative beginning. It's you, I think, you taking the inspired action. You're closer to manifesting whatever this goal is, whatever it was that you wanted to do. And with King of Cups, the gender is not important, but this is the energy. It's the energy, right, that matters. It's not the gender, but this is the energy of someone who's very emotionally mature. They're very balanced. They're very stable. They're very, they're very understanding of how they feel and why, and they're understanding of how to process it and work through it. The King of Cups is someone who knows that they cannot give what they do not have, that it's hard to take action, it's hard to do something when you haven't taken care of yourself first. So perhaps your guides are just encouraging you to practice a little bit more self-care, make sure you're sleeping enough, and, you know, getting enough water, make sure you're getting adequate nutrition where you can, where it's possible. What else from your guides? So a Five of Cups and Nine of Wands, I'm getting some things don't always go as planned, but you can overcome it. Like, you've had ideas in the past or goals in the past that hadn't really panned out. Maybe certain aspects of it did, but not everything you were hoping for, but you still managed to make the best of it and move past it and in fact, perhaps create something better, or it put you onto a better path. Three of Swords is encouraging you to release the emotional attachment to how this situation turns out. You may get what it is you have been praying for or wanting, but it may look different than how you expected. So if you can let go of your expectation to the answer to your prayer or your desire or your goal, if you can let go of expecting it to come into your life in a certain way, looking a certain way, then you're good, okay? Spirit's asking you to have a little bit of flexibility. You'll still get what you're looking for, but it will be in a way that looks different than you expect. And they don't want you to feel disappointed because it comes in a different package. And I had one fall on the floor. I had the Magician. You are well on your way to manifesting whatever it is that you were looking for in your life, that you were hoping for. But it's time to take inspired action. Make sure you're taking care of yourself as you do this. Okay, so that is what I have for you. I really hope that was helpful, San Antonio Rose. And then next, and our last but not least, we are going to do a message for Monique. Monique is also looking for message from her spirit guides. So let's get Monique's message. Spirit, what do you want Monique to know today? Oof, I did not shuffle those as well as I could have. I'm going to shuffle those again. Okay. So Spirit, what is the message for Monique from her guides that she needs to know today? Okay, a time to give rather than take. But let's get some more details on what that is all about. It's like giving to yourself rather than taking away from yourself is what I'm picking up. Giving to yourself so that you can help give to others is another thing I'm picking up. Oh, what did we have that flipped out? What was that? The Star. Because I'm hearing something about you're well on your way. You're also, it's like you're on the right track. You're on the optimal track for this point in your life. And it seems as though, yes, you're doing all the right things in the best way that you can. Nothing has to be perfect, but Spirit's just letting you know that like you are doing a really good job right now. Okay, 10 of Cups. There's accepting love, and there's like love and happiness like within your home life, but I'm also getting within your community. Giving to yourself so that you can give to others. Maybe it's just you're being asked to just take some time, just to take care of yourself so that you're not burning out. It seems like from the energy I'm picking up, you are a very giving and like a kind and helpful person, but just remember that it's hard to give when you have nothing left to give, right? Knight of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. Spirit's telling me the work that you've been doing right now with this Knight of Wands, the positive actions that you've been taking, the good choices you've been making, it's strengthening. There's something about your legacy, setting up your legacy as a warm and caring and welcoming person, your legacy as a kind person, as a good person. This is the energetic imprint that you will leave behind you. Well, because we all will have to cross over again eventually. But it's like, this is the energy, the memory that you will leave behind. It's like, oh, wow. You know, Monique was such a sweet and caring and kind person. She was always very giving, but she also there's going to be an admiration I pick up, because it's like, but she also remembered to take care of herself. Spirit's asking you, more or less, to put on, you know what they tell you this in the airplanes, put on your own mask before you put on your child's mask or your seatmate's mask. Spirit's asking you with the Seven of Wands there are some things in your personal life that you need to give your attention to, and you need to give some more of your effort to, before you're able to have a proper balance of taking care of yourself and taking care of others. Anything else in conclusion? Yeah, remembering to care for yourself is going to help you not to burn out and end up, I'm hearing anxious pit, not to end up down an anxious pit of, how am I going to be able to do this? I have no energy left. I just can't deal with this anymore. I don't know what to do. Everything is all too much. Spirit saying you can avoid this by, yes, just remembering, put your own mask on before you help somebody with theirs. You know, make sure your own car gas tank is full before you give somebody else the last of your change for their own tank of gas, right? Do you know what I mean? As long as you remember to take care of yourself as well as others, Spirit's saying, like, you will be secure with this King of Pentacles. You will have the capacity to help others on a greater scale. But it all starts with taking care of yourself, and that's what you're being asked to do right now. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. Thank you guys so much for being here for the live stream. I do enjoy coming on every week when I can. I do aim for every week, but sometimes, you know, schedule and life stuff will say otherwise. But I do the best I can to be here regularly. And again, I just want to say thank you so much for supporting me in all the ways that you do. Likes, shares, just being on stream, participating in chat. It is all so important to me, and I'm just really glad that I'm able to reach you guys and be able to help you and, you know, help just contribute to this larger spiritual community. Okay, that's all I have for you guys this week. Private readings are open, so you can check. There is a booking link in the description to the site is called Calendly, where you can book yourself a reading, and it's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. It's also connected to PayPal, so you don't have to do, you no longer have to do separate booking and payment. It's all in one. It's nice and easy. And I'll be back on as soon as I can. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful week ahead. Okay, thank you. Bye.